Perfect. So this is coming on live on Facebook shortly. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. It's the Civilized Presence. You are in the right place at the right time, but I have to apologize that we got in here a little bit late, but you're going to be happy that you're part of this session. So, Renee, let me just kind of put this. I'm just going to get started with Instagram, but first of all, let me have this on your page on Facebook. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Just give us a moment for this video. I can see a lot of people jumping on. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. It's so good to have everyone here. Just give us a moment, please. So I'm just trying to coming in. Let me know where you're joining us from. Come in and just say a quick hello. All right. So I have it on your page now, Renee. So we're on Facebook. So we're just getting started with Instagram. Guys, give us a moment. This is gonna be great. Okay. 1 second. All right. Welcome everyone to the Civilized Presence. For some reason, I am just waiting for Facebook to bring on this video. It really hasn't started yet. Okay, so I can hear it now. All right, perfect. So welcome, guys. It's the Civilized Presence. Dr. Charles, all the way from Ghana. It's good to have you. Princess, thank you. Esther, just give us a moment. So Renee, I'm just starting the video on Instagram.
Okay.
We are live. Woohoo! Guys, thank you so much for joining. Please come into the video and I'll bring you on. I have Carolina from Malaysia. It's good to have you join. Come into the video and I'll bring you on. I have Carolina from Malaysia. It's good to have you in the house. Just 1 second. I'm trying to do something here. Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, I have some kind of backup from you. So, welcome. Yes, I can see.
Yay. Great. Finally.
Yes, we're here.
We overcame Wi-Fi.
Yes, we did. Welcome. Medusa, it's good to have you. Aquila Bonita, it's good to have you. Thank you so much, Esther. Thank you, Janet. Thank you. Sandra, thank you. Tina, it's good to have you. Guys, come into the video and let me know where you're joining us from. I am so excited. I'm so pumped up this morning. I have someone who's so special to me, and you're about to find out why she's so special to me. But welcome. Let us know where you're joining us from. Do us a favor and share this video on your page. Invite your friends, family, your neighbors, and of course your enemies too. Right this video. It is a message that is so important to everyone. Solomon, it's good to have you. I'm not sure if you're joining from Iraq, but thank you for joining us. Guys, come in and just say a quick hello and let us know where you're joining from. It's the Civilized Presence. Thank you. I'm so excited that you made out time to be here. So guys, if it is your very first time, you are in the right place. My name is Louisa Akaiso, and I'm going to be your host for today. I feel so honored that you made out time to be here. Thank you. Welcome. I don't know if you saw the flyer, the post. You see us on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. Where are you joining us from? Welcome. Thank you so much. Now, some of you might be asking, who is she and what does she do? My name is Louisa Akaiso, like I said. I am a master civility trainer and a leadership coach and expert with the John Maxwell team. I work confidently with leaders and professionals that place great importance in themselves and their reputation. And of course, that's going to be you this morning because you made our time. Welcome. Now I can get some feedback from you, Renee. Can you turn down the volume maybe of the other device that you're using for Instagram, maybe? And welcome, Dimeji. It's great to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. We're gonna get this party started shortly. I know everyone is so excited. I got your messages. I was like, Louisa, where's the video? Okay, we're here. Welcome, Dee from Virginia. Thank you for joining us. So we're just going to jump right into the session because we got here late. So I do not want to take so much of your time. Now, if it is your first time and there's so many new people here, the main focus of this Facebook and Instagram series, welcome Sikoni, my friend, to have you, is really to help restore civility in our society. And we've been doing that through meaningful conversations with different guests from all over the world, really breaking down the concept of civility and trying to make it easy for you to understand how it, I mean, that it's easy, but it's also important for you to be civil. So if you've been hanging out with me, you would have learned that civility is as easy as saying please and thank you, or good morning, or even sharing a compliment, just like I'm going to do right now to Renee. That Renee, you look amazing this morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It's time. Welcome, David. It's good to have you. Welcome, Izzy from Canada. It's good to have you. Welcome, John from Canada. It's good to have you. Bola from Canada. It's good to have you. Thank you so much. It looks like we're so popular. All of my great people from Canada are here this morning. Thank you for making out time. So, guys, some of you might have seen the flyer. You might have seen the post from Pastor Aki Ebor. If I didn't get it right, please forgive me. Welcome. Welcome, Angela Jumar. Welcome. We have Instagram. We're live on Instagram and on Facebook this morning. And of course, we would have this video later on transferred to YouTube. So if you're not here live, you can have access to it on replay. Now, civility really is focused on positive people's treatment, treating others the way that you want to be treated. Okay, I'm going to share a definition of civility for you this morning. I've chosen one from Dr. Pierre Funny that states that being civil means being constantly aware of others and weaving restraint, respect, and consideration into that very fabric of awareness. So civility is gracious goodness. And welcome, Evita Joseph. It's good to have you. Welcome, Sister Kate. It's good to have you. Thank you so much. And Evita, I'm so excited that you didn't miss this. It's good to have you. Thank you. Welcome, Tina. Thank you so much for making out time to be here. Thank you. So we're going to just jump on in. Now, some of you might have seen the flyer. You might have seen the topic of the day, but it's one that I'm so passionate about, personal branding. And welcome, Grace. It's good to have you here from Nigeria. Welcome, Ricky. It's good to have you. It's on personal brand. I brought the very best all the way from Ghana. Woo-hoo! All of you from Accra, all of you from Africa, come on in and just give us some hearts, give us some thumbs up. And I want you to make my guest Renee feel loved and appreciated that she made out time to be here because she is amazing. Guys, you're about to learn about this beautiful lady. Okay, so the topic of today is how confidence and self-esteem affects your personal brand. How confidence and self-esteem can affect your personal brand. So are you struggling with confidence or self-esteem? You're in the right place, okay? Or you don't even know what your personal brand is about. That's okay. That's okay. It's going to change beginning from today because Renee is going to share some amazing tips that's going to get you up and running. Yes, Renee is a boss. Give me a thumbs up. That's true. I got you.
Thank you.
I believe you. She is a boss. So let me tell you a bit about why she's so special. Her name is Renee Q Boateng. So she is on Facebook. She's on Instagram. But the amazing thing about her is that she's a personal branding coach and business trailblazer. Renee's calling is simple: to beckon the best of every woman she meets, out of every woman. And when she shares the trajectory of her life, it is clear that she is working the path that only her purpose could pave, from opening a booming women's boutique to becoming the most sought after makeup artist in Ghana, to now hosting the widely popular television program the Today's Woman Show. How many of you know about Today's Woman Show? Give me a thumbs up. It is amazing, guys. If you're in Ghana, if you're in Africa, or if you're on Instagram and you've never ever had access to this, you want to follow Renee. She has clips every day of some great and amazing things that she's doing with beautiful women who are change makers all over the world. And Renee, I just love what you do. You are amazing.
Thank you very much.
She is also the founder of Butterflies and Pearls, and that's a network of strong, beautiful entrepreneurs and corporate women determined to stand out in excellence and success. Now, when I saw that, I said, you know what? There's still hope for me. So if you are a woman entrepreneur, if you're struggling and still trying to find your purpose and who you are, you need to run all down to Butterflies and Pearls and connect with Renee. And I have a lot of great people on Instagram jumping in. Please wear Ghana. It's good to have you, Bima Yeboah. It's good to have you, Bruce. It's good to have you, Sandra. It's good to have you. Guys, if I haven't mentioned your name, it's not because I do not care about you, but maybe because you're not on my personal page, but I want to appreciate you and just let you know that I love you very much for making out time to actually be here. But I will get back to you. I need to talk to my guests first, but thank you for making out the time. So how this really works, Renee, first of all, I would like you to take a moment and say hello to the audience.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me. First of all, I have to say thank you so much. You sent me lots of messages and finally we are on. So thank you so much. And hi, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully it's going to be an amazing, amazing time together. We're going to learn a lot together. And I'm really looking forward to this. You said hi to Blissware Ghana. That's Phoebe. That's my little girl. Thank you, Phoebe, for coming on. And don't go off. You're going to learn a whole lot. And it's time. It's time. It's really, really, really time to step out. So I'm really glad we are doing this now.
Thank you. It's amazing to have Charmaine in the house. Woohoo! That's an image consultant all the way from South Africa. I love you. Thank you for being here today. Welcome, Akosua Christy. It's good to have you in the house. Guys, do me a favor. You need to grab your cup of water. If you're somewhere where it's really cold, get a cup of coffee, get your notes and your pen. It's time to learn. When we have Renee in the house, she's always going to be dropping some hot nuggets. So you don't want to miss it. So get your pen and paper and be ready to learn. Just like we begin this conversation, Renee, how this really works is I'm going to get started with the questions and we'll start talking about the topic of the day. Sometimes we might have a question, sometimes we might not. But guys, let me just give you a little bit of an intro of what we're going to be doing today. So whether you are an entrepreneur, you're a leader, you're a woman leader, professional, individual, it doesn't matter who you are. You are in the right place today because it is so important that you build a value-driven personal brand that communicates confidence, respect and trust, and of course your integrity. If you do not connect with your clients, nobody's going to let go of their funds for you if they do not trust your brand. So if you've been sitting on the on the bench and just kind of feeling like, oh no, Renee, I don't think this is for me. Guys, come on in. I'm going to challenge you today. This message is for you. So it's high time that we take whatever that we're doing seriously. So whether you're a woman, you're a man, you're a child, you're white, blue, black, doesn't matter what part of the world that you're from, your personal brand, it's so important. Your personal brand is as good as your DNA. So you cannot walk around without having a DNA. So if you're a living being, you need to know what your personal brand is. Now, having said that, we're going to begin this conversation really, Renee, this morning by, of course, asking you, what does civility mean to you? Whether it's civility, whether it's etiquette, whether it's manners, people call it different things. I love to refer to it as the golden rule because it's just easier to get people to understand why they should treat somebody else the way they want to be treated. So over to you, Renee.
Civility to me, it's really politeness and courtesy. It's really important to to speak to people and to treat people the way you want to be treated. So like you said, is the golden rule, and you said it in the beginning as well, just being, and in my part of the world, in my culture, it's almost even showing that you were brought up properly, showing that you come from a good home. Because when you're polite, when you're courteous, when you're not, people can even ask you, where are you from? Who's your dad? Who's your mom? So in our culture, even, we're brought up to be very polite. The please, the thank you. We say, what's the magic word? What's the golden word? So it's just really being very, very courteous. So if you're a woman, then you're a lady. If you're a gentleman, if you're a man, then you're a gentleman. So that's what it really is. The simple explanation, that's what it is. Treating others the way you be treated. You would want to be treated with respect, with courtesy, and with politeness.
Thank you so much. I love that. And guys, let me tell you, I learn every Mondays and Fridays from professionals from all over the world, because I always believe that one person might learn from me and somebody else might be learning from Renee, and of course other experts that we bring in here. So I love how you just kind of made it very simple. And welcome Mami, welcome Deborah Apraku. It's so good to have you. Modingo, it's good to have you. Guys, thank you so much, and give us hearts, give us thumbs up coming in. Let us know what country that you are joining us from. The Civilized Presence is here every Mondays and Fridays at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, I'm going to apologize again, some of you who are just joining us, because we got in here a little bit late, and that's because of technical difficulties. But you know what, guys? I'm going to give Renee a thumbs up. We were able to make this work. We did everything and just kind of made it work. I love women who were like, listen, we need to get it done. And we did. And we had to show up strong here for you guys. It's so much that was put in. But we're here. And welcome Abigail from Ghana. Thank you. It's so good to meet you.
Ghana,
Guys, come in. Yes, it's just saying. I hope that works. I love to just kind of break it down and just connect with my audience in the best way that I can. So I love my sisters and brothers from Ghana because they're just next door. So welcome. It is saying again. I don't know more than it is saying, so you don't want to say anything more than that. But welcome. I'm excited to have you in the house. Okay, so this is going to take me to my next question for you is, Renee, what does personal branding mean to you? What is personal branding in the most simple terms?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yes. Over to you.
So I've taught on personal branding so many times, and for those who follow me and who join my classes, they know that I'm a very, very interactive, simple as it can be kind of teacher. Because sometimes when you're too technical, it goes over their heads and they're thinking, oh my goodness, what's she talking about? So I like to keep it very, very plain and simple. Now it's even been described. Okay, now when you are in a room, okay, personal branding really simply is what people say about you when you are not there. Why is it when you're not there? Because that really is the truth. So when you are around, people will say sometimes what you want to hear. But when you're not around, what do people say about you? Okay, what do people say about your products? What do people say about your brand? What do people say about your service? And it's really important. A lot of the time, we as entrepreneurs, as business people, we can have it in our minds that, I am this way, or my product is this way, or my service is this way. Now, personal branding is about you, the person. So you, the owner of the company, the owner of the business. So what do your clients say about you? What do your workers say about you? What the people around you say about you? That's what your personal brand is. Who you are, how you can be described. That's what your personal brand is.
I love that. That gives me hope. Who you are, what do people have to say about you? Because sometimes we walk around, and I remember that we had an interesting chat, Renee, talking about how sometimes you were actually a little cat, but when you look at the mirror, you think you're this big lion. Now, your clients are looking at you and laughing because they probably don't even think you're up to a cut. So who are you? What kind of impression do you leave in the minds of people? Why I said we're learning from the very best this morning. And guys, welcome. Miss Bell Black, is it your first time here? You're welcome. Rachel, please coming in. The problem with Instagram sometimes is that we have this kind of interesting names. But I want you to get in the comments and just tell me what your name is. I want to be able to give you a shout out and treat you as a VIP that you are. So come on in and tell me your name and where you're joining us from. Oyike Olga, it's good to have you. Abike says, very informative. Thank you so much. Abike, we're here every Mondays and Fridays. And guys, if you are not following us yet, because I have so much information, even on IGTV, on YouTube, you can find me on YouTube. It's Louisa Akaiso. On IGTV, I'm right there. So Unique Experts, or even you can use my name, Louisa Akaiso, as well. You should be able to find me. Please make sure that you turn on your notifications, that you follow us, so that you know when we're coming on live and we're bringing all these great guests and professionals from different parts of the world. And thank you so much, everyone, for being here. So my next question for you, Renee, would be that you have been extremely successful with working or even coaching using personal branding. Now, how important is having the right or positive self-esteem and confidence in creating that branch or image as an individual or even as an organization? Over to you, Renee.
So thank you very much. Now, for coaching, I could say after coaching on personal branding for a good number of years, I've realized that your confidence and your self-esteem is actually the most important thing that you need to sort of you need to be in control of before you can set, you could set your personal brand up, because there are so many reasons and we could go on forever here. But for you, your personal brand is who you are. Okay, it's who you are, and for you to know, some people don't even know who they are. And that's even an issue. They don't even know who they are, or they know who they are, but they are hiding because of confidence issues. So there are so many powerful women out there, I've found. So many women doing amazing things, but who are hiding behind like a shield or a block or something, because they keep saying, oh, it's not my time yet. Or they probably will be invited to come on the show, this show, my show, any show. And they're like, oh, it's not my time yet. I'm working on it. Working on what till when? So I've realized that there's so many women out there who have so much potential, and they're probably not like exuding. They're not coming out. They haven't emerged yet. And the reason is because they really have a problem with confidence or with their self-esteem. That's one thing that I've realized that what I have decided, and I mentioned this a couple of days ago on my page, that yes, I'm still a personal branding coach, but I'm going to start giving a lot of tips on self-confidence and self-esteem, because you can't say, oh, I was born with no confidence or I was born with confidence. You can learn it. You can learn it. Your self-esteem, sometimes having a low self-esteem can be because of things you went through. It can be because of your past. But I keep saying your past is past. It's gone. It's over. Now, where are you heading towards? Where do you want to be? Now, let's see how we can, make the way towards where you want to be now. And that is what will determine who you are now, your confidence. And your confidence will then push your personal brand.
Right. I love that. Confidence and self-esteem, there is no hiding place, guys. And let me just recognize some more people who have come in. Wenga from Nigeria, it's good to have you. Susan Jacobs is an image consultant based in Canada. Thank you so much for being here. And I have Mami Sewer from Ghana. Thank you. Sipsi, it's good to have you here. Femi Joshua, it's good to have you. Fitvolution, I hope I got that right. It's good to have you. And of course, Bliss Wear, it's saying emerge. And I want to correct you. It's Q merge, okay? Q merge. So you want to put the Q there. Yes, I'm really current. So guys, if you haven't even been part of what Renee is doing, she started up a great session, really focused on female entrepreneurs, just really building a lifestyle of success. And you can be part of that on Instagram. It's Q Merge, but you want to go on her page first of all, and then send her a message and ask her on how you can be part of that. She just finished a couple of classes not too long ago, but I know that the next session is coming up very soon. And Nagia says, I don't know if I got it right. Thank you for joining us, but let me know what your real name is. I understand that Instagram always asks us to put a short form of our names. And, when I see that, I want to give you a shout out because you are a VIP. You made out time to be in my session. I appreciate you for doing that. And so I want to shout out your name. Let me know what your name is, okay? And where you're joining us from. All right. This takes us to our next question for you, Renee. As you talked about self-esteem and confidence.
Mhm.
Now, majority of the people in the show are professionals. You know, my target audience are professionals and leaders, and some of them are women. So let's even give a question, and I'm trying to be partial here. Men, forgive me. Now, if you have issues with self-esteem and confidence, what are some of the steps that you can take to begin to unveil that greatness from within you? Because I believe that everyone has got greatness in them.
Right.
Some of the things that hides that greatness is our inability to be able to step forth and invest in ourselves. People are going to beat me up for this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Invest in ourselves, care about who you are, and get involved with self-development, personal development. We have so many coaches around. Now, what are some tiny steps that they can begin with, in building confidence and self-esteem, considering that, I'm of African descent, and of course I remember back in the day our parents were not even allowed to speak. Women were not allowed to speak where men were. It's like, you need to keep quiet, you're talking too much. Or even a little child could not say so much. And so all of those things limit us, and we grow up with that. And this is why we have people like Renee in Africa who can help you get out of your box and really be who you were supposed to be. So I'm going to leave it back for Renee, who is the expert today, guys, and to talk to us about how can we gain confidence. What are some of the things that we can do that would help us with confidence and self-esteem? Over to you, Renee.
Thank you. Thank you. I think the most important thing, first of all, is actually admitting that you have an issue with self-confidence and self-esteem. That's the thing. I mean, if you don't admit something, you can't really make it work. So until you actually agree and tell yourself and admit that you have a problem with something, you cannot solve it. So there are many people out there who are thinking that they are so confident, and it's actually overconfidence. And sometimes the overconfidence can be a way of rather, covering the low self-esteem and then the low self-confidence that you have. And that can be seen as arrogance. And that's when there's a difference between confidence and arrogance. Now, the most important thing as women, powerful women out there, very, very often, you need to have a self-reflection. You need to have a self-analysis. You need to look within yourself, look at the things that you are doing, look at the opportunities that probably came to you that you probably let go of, you probably didn't take. Look at the sort of conversations that you've been having with yourself. This is a sort of self-reflection and self-analysis. And you don't have to wait for somebody to do that for you. Somebody doesn't have to come and tell you you don't have confidence. You have to get to a certain point that you can tell yourself. And I'm saying this because I keep saying confidence is just a season. It's a time. It comes and it goes. So you can work on your confidence now. And that's not to say that it will not come again. But it will come again. It may come again. But you have the strength and you know exactly what to do to shove it right back in the back. So it's really important. And it doesn't make you any less of a person. It doesn't mean you are weak. It doesn't mean that you're not educated. I mean, some people think they have a degree, they have a master's, so I'm confident. You're probably, yes, confident in your books. You're probably confident, yes, in your degree, in the subject that you studied, but you're not confident in yourself. And that's what I'm talking about now. That's what we are talking about. We're talking about self-confidence. You can be confident in so many different things. We are talking about in yourself. And there are so many people who are confident in so many things around them, but not in themselves, not in their selves. So without all those things, really, they are nothing. They are crushed. And that's why we need to work within us. We need to work in ourselves. After we've strengthened ourselves, everything else that comes around us is almost like an armor. It's just like a shield. It's just covering a strength that is within us. And that's why now I'm really, pushing for self-confidence. Now, what are some of the ways? I said, number one, you really need to admit it. You need to admit it. Now, when I do coaching sessions are almost like, it goes so deep. Sometimes I speak to some clients. Of course, all my clients are confidential, so I can't say exactly what we discuss, but I'll just say it like, randomly and just, generally, just giving like a generic explanation. But some people have self-esteem issues because of certain things they've been through, and those things are still ringing in their head. So, deciding and admitting that you are confident, number one, admitting it, then gives you the power and the strength to say no more of this. Once you have the power and strength and you say no more of this, that means you are ready to change your mindset. It's all about a mindset change, because you are not confident in what you see, what you believe in, what you've been hearing. You've heard it in the past. The question now is, are you still listening to it? And do you still want to hear it? Now, if I say no, that means I've changed my mind. I do not want to hear it anymore. Or I will hear it, but I have decided that from now, I'm not going to let it trouble me in the way that it used to trouble me before. So that's a decision that I've made, and that's a mindset change. And so that's one thing that I talk about, is self-analysis, self-reflection, and then you move on to a mindset change, where you are going to tell yourself that I am going to work on this. It's not going to be easy. It may not be easy. It may be emotional sometimes. It may be, sometimes me having to bring back things from the past that really hurt me, but I'm going to bring it so I can dig deep and shove it in there and seal it, and that's it. And then just move forward in a way that I want to move forward from now. So it's also having a mindset change. So the question I'm asking you today, if you're on here, is, are you ready to change? Nobody can force you to do that. So anybody who comes to me for coaching, I tell them, well, you've come to me believing that I can help you, but really the help that you need is from yourself. I will guide you, I'll coach you, I'll lead you. But when we get to the river, I can't force you to drink it. You need to drink it yourself. So the question is, am I really ready? Some people are afraid even of change. So they are still in where they are, even though they are not happy, because in Ghana, we say, Mamen Fanesa. Mamen Fanesa means, let me just take it like that. So let me just take it as it is. I'm used to it. How old am I now? How old am I? I've lived all these years like this. I might as well take it. So sometimes in our part of the world as well, we have that sort of culture about that I don't care kind of culture, or sometimes let me take it as it is. And that also can be like a huge problem. So the big thing, number one, is to admit that there's a problem somewhere, or there's an issue. Maybe don't call it a problem. You want to admit that I have this issue, or I've noticed that this is it, and I'm ready to make that change. And that change starts here, nowhere else. It starts with a mindset change.
Wow, thank you so much. I am learning a lot, guys. If you're just getting here, I don't want to say that you're late to the party, but you really are. So you can still have access to the video later on replay. And let me go back to the audience. Welcome MCB7719. I want to know who you are, but welcome. It's good to have you in the house. I see Dispatch. It's good to have you. Fonny Graphy, it's good to have you in the house. Von Vina, it's good to have you. Baisila Dali, it's good to have you here from Ireland. Thank you so much for joining us. Fritz War. Patty, it's good to have you in the house. Miss Bell Black, I think I mentioned you before. Guys, if I haven't called your name, I want to know your name and where you're joining us from. But I want you to know that I really do appreciate you, and I love you very much for making out time to be here in the session today. The network has not been that friendly, but we are grateful that we are here and we're getting things going. And so just give us some thumbs up, give us some hearts, and let us know where you're joining us from. Say something good to Renee so that she can come back another time. So you have to be civil. It's the civilized presence. And welcome, Belinda. Thank you. Ghana Maid, it's good to have you in the house. Foyb, it's good to have you in the house. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Okay, so this is going to take us to our next question for you, Renee. It's really, I love how you were able to break it down, that it begins from here. That kind of reminds me of the fact that the change begins with you. So you must be ready for the change. Yes, Renee is the coach. She's ready to drill it on. But if you come with a mindset that you're not ready to change, there's not so much that she can do. She's accepting clients, and so that's a great thing. So if you want to work with her, if you're still struggling with confidence, please go over to Renee or send me an email. It's louisa@thecivilityacademy.com, because we really want to help you. This is what we do. When we have a session and have a conversation, we open up for you to join us and be part of this and benefit from some of the programs that we're offering. And so Bovina says she is awesome and I love her. I love her too. Thank you so much. I love the comment. Thank you. Bring all the hats, bring all the love. We appreciate it. Okay, so my next question for you, Renee, would be if we had, for example, if I'm an entrepreneur, I
Mhm.
mean, nowadays everyone is an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Instagram has created a platform where everyone is an entrepreneur, and I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
But your personal brand is still very important. Now, how can you explain or really break it down to this entrepreneur why personal brand is so important for them and it's going to help them to build credibility? Because sometimes we are just interested in starting the business. I read something online the other day, which was so funny. And it talked about how we have different types of entrepreneurs. Some entrepreneurs actually do the business with you and come back to find out how you're doing, how you're getting along, and if you need some more help. And some just take your money and run away. They really don't care. I thought that was great. So how can you build credibility? Because of course I know that you can build credibility using personal brand. And of course you cannot even build credibility without personal brand. So let me put it like that. But
Mhm.
I just kind of want you as the expert to nail it on again. Why personal brand is a tool for building or gaining credibility. Over to you, Renee.
Thank you so much. This is a really good question. And I'm glad that you said in the beginning that everybody's an entrepreneur now. And that's great as well. I like that sort of like exuberance and determination and zeal that is coming out of so many women and men. They all want to start their own thing, which is fantastic. But that is why personal branding is the most like is so popularly talked about and even taught now today, because we are in the world now, we're in the season of entrepreneurship. Everybody has a business now. How would you stand out? You stand out by your personal brand. So there are 100 ladies on the street, or maybe let me just say 10 ladies, and we are all selling the same thing. Why should I come to you? Your personal brand will pull me to you because what you're selling is the same as what the next person is saying. But what are people saying about you? Okay, I recently taught somewhere and I used an example that got the whole room laughing. If I remember it, I'll share it here. I remember a bit of it. But why, and what you're saying as well is how would your personal brand gain credibility? What are people saying about you really? That's what it is. Now, sometimes there are some people everywhere, wherever you are in, if you're here from Nigeria, from Ghana, Ireland, Canada, I know that there are certain places. So let's say a hairdresser. Okay, you go to a party, there are a group of ladies sitting down, and suddenly you start talking about beauty, start talking about hair, and then somebody mentions one hairdresser's name, and some of the ladies are like, no, 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 don't go there at all. The last time I went there, you won't believe, number one, she was so nasty to me. I got there, I greeted, she didn't even respond, she just looked at me up and down. That women talk. Men talk as well, but it's just very not, now the best way to sell is through word of mouth advertising and not even TV and radio anymore, because a lot of people don't even have time to watch TV and watch radio anymore. So you really need to fix your personal brand now, because people will be talking and word of mouth goes so fast. The best thing is that people are saying the right things about you and not the negative things about you. Now, if so many people keep saying the right things about you, your brand then becomes credible. Oh, you mentioned this brand. Oh, that's a good brand. You mentioned the brand again. Oh, that's a very, very good brand. I've tried it before. I went there and another person mentions it. Oh, fantastic. You can't go wrong with that. Another person mentions it. You haven't used it yet. Are you kidding me? And that is a credible. That then grows the strength of your brand. And like I said the last time, it even gives you then the audacity, in quote, to quote your premium prices, because you deserve it, because you built it up, and because it's now a quality brand that is credible. Credibility is about trust, for those who don't understand. When you talk about credibility, you're talking about a brand that we can actually trust. Can I give you my money? Now, when I'm talking about personal brand, I always say that build your brand in such a way that when people are approaching you for your product or your service, they see it as an investment in themselves. And they don't see it as, oh, money they're wasting or money they're throwing away. No, they'll say that I have chosen brand A because I know for sure when I go to brand A, I'll get what I want and even more. And that's how we have to build. And I mean, right now, that's the only way to do it. There's no other way. I mean, some people are trying to, get clients by putting other clients, putting their competitors down. That is not civil at all. That is not right at all.
Absolutely.
So you get that people in the same business, and then they start, putting others, their competitors down. What is competition? You should tell yourself, I am the benchmark. Well, who are you looking at? You should tell yourself, I am setting the pace. They will follow me. I'm always a step ahead. It's about positive mind thinking as well. And when you have a positive mind, that sort of intimidation, sometimes all of this comes out of intimidation, out of fear. You hear that somebody else has come into your industry and you're suddenly panicking. Are they come to steal my clients? Nobody can steal what is yours. If you have that in your mind, you won't be afraid of anything. What is mine is mine. What is hers is hers. We are all in a race, but we each have our lane, and we'll get to it at our own destined and appointed time. So there's no credibility. It's about trust. So you have to ask yourself now, I don't know what you are selling. Right now, ask yourself now, okay, self-analysis, self-reflection. Ask yourself, what am I selling? Is it a product I'm selling? Is it a service I'm selling? Now, will my clients say, and will people who know about what I'm selling, will they have such trust and confidence in what I'm selling that they'll be willing to tell other people about it, striking their chest, basically saying that I can vouch for her. I have recommended certain people that I've said to them that if you go and she's not good, I'll pay. And that is the trust and confidence I have in her brand. That is what I know for sure that she can deliver. I have that. Can people say that about you? That's a question. So your personal brand is so, so important. You really need to build it up to a point that when it's being talked about, it's being talked about to promote it and not to demote it.
Wow,
right.
thank you so much. That was amazing, guys. I didn't know about you.
When you say Renee, over to you, I could talk forever. So I've just
and that's fine.
For a while, but it's like I'm just asking if I should go on.
I love it. I love it. I know that you're so passionate about this topic, and I love the work that you're doing on a daily basis. Guys, if you're looking for a brand to follow on Instagram, on Facebook, sometimes a lot of people, when you get on their page, you become sad. But when you follow Renee, she makes you happy with all the posts on her page. She's always pumping you up, like making you feel like, you know what? You can face the day and you can do this. So that's one of the brands that you want to follow. She always has something positive on her page every single day. So it's a brand that I love very much. I love what she does. And you know what? When I bring my people here, I'm going to hype them up because they're the best. I don't bring anything that is not the best on the platform. I only bring the best of the best. So let me go back to the audience. So I have Nakiti's son. It's good to have you. I'm sorry if I don't get your name right. It's because I haven't had breakfast yet. Rubies, it's good to have you here. Marlo, it's good to have you. 2000 Will, it's good to have you. Mary Asante Asamoah, it's good to have you. Michelle, it's good to have you in the house. Thank you so much. Yes, Fitvolution says Renee is years of excellence and credibility. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much,
over again. And welcome, Giselle. It's good to have you. My Facebook family, I love you very much. We are also on Instagram. And Kate, thank you so much. Yes, she does have a positive spirit. And that's Minister Kate from Nigeria. It's good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us, and your contribution means so much to me. Guys, listen, you just do not want to be hanging by the screen. Give us some hearts. Give us some thumbs up. We want to see that going. Because when you do that, Instagram or Facebook gets this video available to a lot more people. That just simply means that, you know what, people are enjoying the conversation. And I know that you're enjoying the conversation. I am enjoying it too. I'm going to go back and watch this video again. And so guys, give us some hearts, give us some thumbs up, and let us know that you really enjoy what we're doing. Yes, the hearts and thumbs up are coming up. So thank you so much. So this is going to take me to my next question for you, Renee. And it's just a little snippet into the sessions that you had, because I think some people missed the session, really not knowing why it was so important. And I find some women, you know, I went to a networking event and people were introducing themselves, and I met this lady who was not looking too happy, and I went to say hello to her. And I really have to apologize. I had a call come in, guys. I'm so sorry. Guys, you do not want to call me. I'm live, please. Okay. You don't want to call me now. I'm live, please. Okay. So I saw this lady who wasn't looking too happy. So of course I went over to her just to have a conversation, and she wasn't talking to anyone. And I said, "What do you do?" She said, "Well, I'm just a housewife with my kids, so I don't really have anything to say." I said, "Wow, you're the most important person in the room. Did you know that?" Oh my goodness. So this is going to take me to my next question for you, Renee, because in different parts of the world, sometimes you find that mothers refuse to take care of themselves, refuse to build a brand. And I know the mothers are going to beat me up right now. That's okay. But, like in North America, we've had people show up in the room with their sleeping clothes, like, hello, hello. Are you serious? You're going to drop off your kids in school and you just show up with whatever you're putting on?
PJs.
I think that is very uncivil. If the teachers could take the time to dress up and be there for your kids, show them some respect. Okay? I'm not saying you have to put on the whole makeup and all that, but at least personal grooming. Come up looking clean and neat. So this is going to go back to what you dealt with in Q-Merge, because I know that you dealt with the personal brand of whether it's women or mothers or people in the home. There you go. So can we talk a bit about that? Because women are amazing, but we need help. And the expert is in the house. And I need you to know that, getting married and getting connected doesn't mean that you should just kind of throw yourself behind the bin. You are the most important person in the world because you're bringing up the young people who are the leaders of tomorrow. And you are the first role model, okay? So if you are a clown, your kids are going to be clowns. Now, I'm sorry, you're not going to like me too much, but when it comes to a topic that I'm very passionate about, we can't play with this because I'm tired of women, coming up to say that we are second-class citizens and people are discriminating us and we cannot talk. Listen, cut the crap off. The expert is in the house. And so, Renee, please talk to us about the personal brand of a mother, of a wife, of women, because that's something that I'm so passionate about. Over to you, Renee.
Thank you so much. And I love the way you ask the questions and then you answer half of it. So you give me...
No. You
give me like even less...
Do your thing.
Less work to do. And it's fantastic.
You did a full session on it.
And I love it. I love it that you also know. And I'm sure so many people are listening to you and nodding because they're agreeing. They're saying, that's right. She's got it right. And it's, first of all, I don't think that any woman should say, I am just anything. There's nothing as just. There are some people who have like such high-end corporate jobs and they cannot be mothers or wives. Or they cannot be as good a mother or wife as you are. So let me not say they cannot be wives or mothers, no, but they cannot be as good as you are. So I don't think you should downplay it and say, oh, I'm just the wife sitting at home. Because like you said, the wives sitting at home are doing so much work. Mm-hmm. So much work. I mean, I am an entrepreneur. I have my own business. So I have my schedules, so I have days when I leave home at 1 p.m. because from morning to noon, I'm doing my housework as a wife and as a mother. And it's a lot of work and I enjoy it thoroughly. Now, one thing I would say, we said, what is your personal brand? Your personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. A lot of the time, personal brand coaches and personal branding came around and about and became so popular because a lot of entrepreneurs out there were looking for ways to get more clients, to promote their businesses. Corporate women, corporate men were looking for ways to get noticed in their workplaces, ways to get promoted and all of that. But one day it just like sort of dawned on me that we are just so we're so concerned with work, with the money making, side of things, with our entrepreneurship, but what about my brand as a wife? What does my husband say about me when I'm not in the room? What do my husband's friends say about me when I'm not in the room? And I think I thought of it because one time I heard, and I'm around men a lot of the time. My husband has a lot of friends. I cook for them. They'll all come around. They'll come and eat. And one time, one of them said, how I wish my wife would do this. I was just passing by and I heard him say that. And I thought, doesn't your wife do that? Now, I just thought your wife should do that. It's normal for your wife to do that, because I set the table, everything, how I did it. So your brand as a wife, your brand as a mother, you need to take pride in it. The same way you'll be all suited up, like you said, all groomed up and everything, knowing that you're going to work in a bank, knowing that you're going to work in a law firm. So knowing where you're going, you dress up and everything. Why should it be, a Sunday, like when you're going to church or when you're going somewhere, before you spruce up yourself for your husband or for your children? Because like you said, I remember back in primary school, we used to laugh at certain children based upon who came to pick them up. So if it was their mother and their mother used to dress a certain way, we'll all start, I say we, like I'm a part of it, but it used to happen. I'm saying we collectively, like that is what used to happen. That was the norm. So if you're a mother, do you want your children's friends to laugh at your child? Like Louisa rightfully said, you are the first role model. You live with your child. Your child sees everything happening. So if even your child sees you wake up in the morning and you just throw on the very dirty boo-boo the day before that you cooked with, that had oil splattered on it and everything from the cooking and all of that, and you throw that same one on and just say, oh, I'm just going down the road to go and buy something, who cares? They see it and it affects them. I didn't go to a certain boarding school, but I heard about, my cousin went there. She was telling me about one of her friends who would tell her mom when she comes, don't get down from the car, I'm coming, don't get down from the car. Because she didn't want her friends to see who her mother was. And yes, there are some children as well that when their mother comes, it's like a parade. This is my mother. This is my mother. People are you kidding? Is it your big sister? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Trust me, all our children want the are you kidding kind of mom. And our husbands as well take so much pride in their wives. Our husbands, trust me, your husband takes so much pride in you. He might not tell you, but I know how swollen-headed men get when their friends especially, because they talk about things like their cars, their watches, their businesses, everything. Why should they not talk about their wives? So it can be very, very embarrassing, and people don't talk about it, but it's about time we actually start talking about it. A lot of women are always crying about my husband is cheating, and it wasn't like that. Sometimes the women push the men out because you are not the woman they married anymore. When they came to marry you a certain way, you never used to come out without your lashes. You've seen Louisa's lashes all there. Not easy at all. When she blinks, it's like, hello. And that is probably what her husband met her with. Suddenly, you've got a ring on your finger, so away with the lashes. But how do you know it wasn't all part of the aura and everything he fell in love with? He fell in love with you as a being. He fell in love with your personal brand. When you were not around and he was telling your friends about the chick he had seen. Oh my goodness, I've seen this girl. The girl is hot. And not only is she hot, I love her body. I love the way she dresses with it. I love her style. I love the way she speaks. Sometimes when I go to her house, she's even cooked a meal for me. Her food is all of that leads to that knee on the floor with a ring showing up. Will you marry me? All of that. And suddenly you get that and you feel like, oh, now I've got him. Why should I bother doing my hair? So some women will braid their hair and then the hair becomes, something else. All of these things. Some men don't talk about it. They don't even know how to talk about it. Some of them don't know what to say. But in their minds, they're thinking, this is not the woman I married. So they're not happy at home. And so then they start, wandering around. And then we start saying that the enemy has done it. The enemy has done it. Sometimes you are your own enemy. So it's about time we start asking ourselves, and you have to, I read somewhere and I loved it so much, that rather than spend all the time around your husband wondering if he's cheating and who he's cheating with and wondering what he's doing, rather spend time around him wondering the kinds of things he likes and start doing that. Because men as well change. There are times that they want a certain kind of thing and they want a certain, but do you even know your husband well enough like that? So your brand as a wife really is, will your husband strike his chest when you're not there and say that my wife is the best woman ever? Will your son or your daughter actually say that I'm so proud of my mom? And sometimes you see that like your mom ain't fly as my mom. Will your child actually wear a t-shirt saying that? Or will they wear the t-shirt but will wear it inside out because everybody will laugh at them when they see that quote? So it's really important that we take care of ourselves as wives, as mothers, as entrepreneurs, as friends. I talked about personal branding as a friend as well, which was also really, really deep. Why? And I brought all of this up because you can be so great at work. You can be so fantastic at work. Even your subordinates, your colleagues at work will say such fantastic things about you. But you come home and you're not that person anymore. Because at home, you're not making money. At home, you're not looking for clients. But you want love to be sustained in your home. You want people to come into your home and they just smell love all around. They just feel like this is a home. It's not a house. A house is a cold place with people living in it. But a home is when there's love around and there's just that, there's just a unity and a bond, and it's just beautiful. And each one of us should have that mindset change now, that my house is going to become a home, or my home even is going to be the place where others will come and learn secretly and go away, or they might even ask. But you'll be surprised that some people actually come in your home and they just come and look around. They just love the feel, the ambience, and they go home wishing and praying and hoping that their home would then suddenly get that ambience. But you need to work towards it. So I totally do not agree at all with women, and I think we need to stop doing that. When you are a housewife, it's even a bigger job, trust me. It's a huge job to maintain your house, to maintain your home. It's such a big thing. So don't even add the just to it. Don't say just whatever, just at this. You're not just anything. You are a huge something. What you're doing is big because you're doing it to a level that is like setting the benchmark. So if your husband's friends are saying, I wish my wife was like your wife, then, that's a good brand there. And that's what we should all have. We should treat our husbands like kings in a way that their friends even would wish that they were treated that way. It even boils down to, apart from even dressing, sometimes even, I've been to certain homes, I've been for lunch, in certain homes, and the plates, the crockery, sometimes a little chip is broken somewhere, the cutlery is rusted somewhere. And this is a place, it's a good home. Now, maybe that is my friend. So later on, we're in the kitchen and I say to my friend, but look at what you came to serve us with. And she's like, oh, it's not Christmas. She's saving like the crockery and everything for Christmas. But you should tell yourself every day is Christmas. When is Christmas? Christmas is the day when you have fun, Christ has resurrected. As long as you have life, when you're waking up in the morning, Christ has resurrected for you that morning. So it's Christmas for you every day, in a way. So you really should put your best out there all the time. I really don't agree with it at all. And I think it's really, really bad when women do that, especially when they get married. When they get married, then they think that, oh, I've got the man now, so it doesn't matter anymore. It matters to keep him. Marriage is forever. Marriage, when you say you go and you say your vows and you say, for good, for better, for worse, and all of that, it's for the next 50 years, 60 years, God willing. And it has to be an enjoyable time, and you have to make it enjoyable. So the woman plays such an important role, such a strong role, and how we carry ourselves and everything is really, really important. So for the women who do that, with the old boo-boos, throw them away today. Throw them away
Thank
today.
you so much. Thank you. We have so many great people.
That's really important.
People are just jumping in. Thank you, guys. I have Joanne from Nigeria. Ricky, thank you, Miss Tete. I have Dr. Renee. Woohoo! That's another Renee in the house.
Okay.
Thank you. That's another Master Civility Trainer. It's good to have you. Welcome, Mami. Welcome, Sully B. It's good to have you in the house. And thank you for your support, Feedvolution. You've invited a lot of people. Thank you. Classy Autumn. Thank you, Afia Hasare. Thank you, Miss Boss Hair. It's good to have you in the house. Thank you so much. Everyone is so excited. And I have a comment here from Kate. It said, motherhood is the greatest and most prestigious office. I agree with you.
Yeah, it's definitely
impacting generations, even yet unborn. We are not just, we are priceless women. Wake up.
Exactly. Thank you.
Guys, listen. I can feel so much heat in this session. I need to take some tea. Oh my goodness. Guys, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. And I have one more question for you, Renee, because sometimes a lot of people think that personal brand is for a certain kind of people. And I'm sure you get that. Some people think personal brand is not for me. I think it's for those classy people. And guys, please forgive me that my office phone is ringing. They don't understand that I'm live on air. I'm sorry. But So, but this is the real me. I'm sorry. I cannot cut that off. This is realness. So take me as I am. My phone is ringing. Okay. So some people would say personal brand is not for me. It's for somebody else. It's for that tush entrepreneur. It's for people who can afford it, and welcome aboard here, Wami and Rima Zion. So I know that you get that. Now, my next question for you, and I hope it's going to be the last question, even though I have two questions that are so important, because I want people to see why personal brand is so important so that everyone can run after Renee to say, help me build the brand called me. You are the brand. Okay, so having said that, personal brand, what does it mean to the woman who sells tomatoes in
Makola,
Makola Market? Thank
Makola
you.
Market.
So the woman who is on the floor selling tomatoes, why is personal brand important? Is it even important for her to have a brand
It is
because she's
important.
sitting down and selling? Over
Yes,
to
yes,
you.
yes, 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 yes. And I'm so glad that you've even brought it down. And it's so interesting because when you said that, I started remembering or thinking about a lady that I buy some fish from in the market. And when I go there and she's not there, I actually ask, I ask where she is. I ask for her. I don't have a telephone number. And then it made me even think I should get her number. So when I'm going to the market, I'll call her to say that I'm coming. But then, like I said, personal branding is setting yourself apart. So when you go to the market, Makula Market, Agubulushi, whichever market you go to, there are so many women on one row selling exactly the same thing. And as you're going, you just walk past, but you suddenly just stop at one. Which one do you stop at and why? What reason? Sometimes it's probably for hygiene reasons because she sees that there are flies around and maybe it's even how creativity. So she's arranged her tomatoes in a way that you even wonder that what if it all fell, everything will fall off. Now, when she puts that detailing in and you see that she's, taking the flies away, sprinkling the tomatoes with water and everything, it makes you then, you start to see her as credible. Because then you're thinking that she's not just selling tomatoes, she's selling fresh, hygienic tomatoes. And she's so passionate about what she's doing that she's put her every detail in it. So you know that she's giving you the best and you are willing to pay her for that. Now, if you go to the same row and there's another one and all the tomatoes are just in a bucket and she's just sitting there and she's just saying that who will come and buy? If you come and buy, come and buy. And sometimes when you're standing in front of her talking to her, she's like, are you come to buy? If you won't buy, clear off. Because sometimes you get that in the market.
Of
They
course.
don't want any questions. The market women, you can't even ask, oh, is it soft? Is it this? Are you going to buy? If you will not buy, please move. And that is very poor customer service. And customer service really is your interaction with people, is your civility. And you shouldn't say that because I'm in the market, I don't have to be civil. You have to be civil wherever you are. As long as you're a human being speaking to another human being, you have to be civil. So if I'm on that stretch, okay, and I see
I'm
five
so
ladies,
sorry. I'm so sorry, Renee. Could you come back into Instagram? Instagram, I really apologize, but
oh
Instagram is quite
wow.
uncivil this morning. They didn't even warn me. But that's okay. That's what we should invite them to Civilized Presence.
But
So
Instagram is quite uncivil this
can
morning.
you
They
come
didn't
into
even
the Zoom?
oh.
I am so sorry.
So we
Perfect.
invite them to
Guys,
civilize
I really
so
appreciate you
listen.
for coming back. And I'm
Can you
so
come
sorry
into the
that
video?
Instagram was
I
so
am
uncivil.
okay. I've just requested. Guys,
Yes.
I really
So you're
appreciate you for
coming
coming
back
back.
in. Thank you guys for coming back in. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. So I'll start over again. I don't know where I go. Where did I get to, Louisa?
We're talking about the woman in the store in the
In
marketplace.
the market, yes. So I was
Yes.
talking about how, sometimes you go to the marketplace and they think that because they're in the market, they don't have to give any good customer service. Very, very poor customer service. The way they even talk to you, you can't even ask any questions. They get irritated when you ask questions. They can even tell you to clear off for somebody else to come, as if what you are coming to buy is the same thing the person is coming to buy with the same kind of money. So it's also here sort of like a mindset. I don't think that personal branding is for the stush or the apathy, because who are the apathy and who has judged them the apathy? You have. But who said you are in the apathy? Why have you put yourself beneath them? That you are saying that it's for them and not for us? Who said you're among the us? Really? So you yourself, you put yourself in a certain kind of place. And I get that a lot, especially when I do corporate training. The first thing I hear all the time, first question, but what if your salary is not good? How can you have a personal brand? Who said your personal brand is to do with your salary? Now, what is so, your personal brand is being the best that you can be. And being the best that you can be has to be at every point and season of your life. So you have to make it work in whatever way you make it work. So you'll be surprised at certain things that some people wear, and they'll tell you where they got it from. But then their confidence, their ambience, who they are, their aura has even added value to the thing. Now, when you are confident within yourself, you make everything on you, then you add wealth to everything around you. And that's why I think that it's so, after a while, I mean, I'm a professional makeup artist. I was #1 makeup artist in Ghana for many, many years. And truly, my passion and my zeal for it started coming down in a way, because I saw that it was almost becoming so superficial. The beautiful women that I'll be making up, and there are so many cosmetics in my box, right? But I feel like I only have to use what you need. So if you don't need concealer, there's nothing to conceal. I don't see why I should bring my concealer out. I found that the women who even wanted more and more and more and add more this and add more this and add more this is because within them there was something that they were hiding, and they were using the makeup, the accessories, the clothing, and everything to cover up. And that's why I felt like no. Let's take this. Let's take this back a bit. Let's start working within ourselves, and then after we add on the blush and the lip gloss and the everything, and that will even make our glow even brighter. Really. And that's why we have to work from within. Now, why would you go to the market and choose a certain kind of woman? She hasn't told herself she's just a market woman. So she's sitting there, and then she has a chewing stick in her mouth, and then she's brushing her teeth and, excuse me to say, spitting all around what she's selling. Because sometimes you see that. How unhygienic. Why would I buy from you? But you go to another woman, and she's nicely dressed with her slit and kaba or her t-shirt and her wrapper, tied it up nicely. She's arranged her tomatoes a certain way. She's dusting off the flies, sprinkling water on it so that the tomatoes won't wrinkle, so that it's still fresh. In a minute, you see the difference between all those 5 ladies, and you walk to the one that you want to buy from. Her competitors, her other ladies there will say she's using juju or she's using something. She's not using juju or anything like that. It is just she just valuing who she is and valuing what she's selling and valuing her clients as well, to be able to give them the best. And you will notice it and you go to her. And that's what personal branding is about, really. So don't be afraid of anybody else coming in your industry. 10,000 more people will come, but they are not you, and they will never be you. Now, you have to know who you are and always keep developing yourself. So Louisa talked about development in the beginning, and that is so important. You can't say that because you did this course 10 years ago, you are done. Every day is an opportunity to learn something new. Now, when she's asking me a question, she says certain things, and you won't believe that in some of the things that she says, I'm like, that's a good point there. That's a good point there, Louisa. I mean, I wish I could quickly write it down, but I'll go over and play it over and take some points that I want to take. So that's what it is. There shouldn't be, I'm just at this or I'm just at that. And you shouldn't also tell yourself, oh, I'm just going here, because you don't know who you go and meet at that just place. Because when you were going there and the person was coming there, they didn't tell themselves they're just going there. To them, they were going here and they were going to meet you. So I don't like it when you meet, and I think that it shouldn't be a case where you meet somebody, you have to explain, oh, today you are seeing me like this because, why do you think you have to explain to them anything? You are who you are. You should be confident in who you are. So maybe if you're going to the gym and you have no makeup on and people know you like that, then this is Jim Renee. You know me as this, Jim Renee. And you know me, this is me and this is me. And I'm confident in it. Now, if I know I'll not be confident in it at any point, then I shouldn't step out of my house and have to explain to you anything. So, I mean, there are women in Makola who are making much more money than people in the corporate industry, because they know, I mean, the woman I'm telling you about who sells fish, that woman is amazing. I go and even buy her fish when I don't need it. Why? Because you go there, and as soon as she sees, she starts giving you recipes. She starts telling you where the fish came from, how to use it, how it is salted. She'll tell you this is too salty. Dip it, put it in water, soak it, do this. So she's teaching you as she's selling to you. Then she's asking you about your home. She's telling you how to be a better wife. I mean, sometimes she's even giving you some tricks. And this is a woman in the market. So you go to her and there's a queue. And a lot of people are waiting to speak to Auntie Sisi. Hey, Auntie Sisi, today, what tip do you have for me? Hey, last time, what you told me, man, when I went and I did it, or when I went and cooked this meal, I mean, the whole house was, and that is it. So that is her brand. So when Auntie Sisi is not there, you don't even want to buy fish. And what is she selling? Quotes, just fish. So there's nothing like just, really. It's really being the best at whatever it is that you're doing. And development, studying never ever ends. It should never end. I have like 3 books. 3 books. I haven't even started reading. And for me, this is what I do. I read, and I come and speak. I read it. And I've just told myself that, you know what, this is what I'll do. Because one time, seriously, I was praying and I heard that. I heard the Lord say to me, read and teach. So that's what it is. And there are always new books to read. Have the books finished? Maybe Louisa is going to write a book. Maybe I am going to write a book. Who knows? There's so much more to read and to teach the people who probably don't have the opportunity to read. So there's no excuse. I don't care where you are. You can be in Makola, you can be wherever, Medina, Nima. I don't care. When you set yourself apart, people will come looking for you there. Now look at where I live. Why should I come all the way and go all the way there to come and buy from you? When maybe there are people around me that I could buy from? Is because when I come to you, there's a certain sort of quality that I get. There's an assurance that I have that buying from you, I have the best. So I can even send somebody and probably show where you are or give your number. And I know that they will go and get me what it is that I need because I trust you. That's when the credibility comes in, when you're building it up. So really, let's stop downplaying ourselves. Let's really stop telling ourselves it's for those kind of people because we are that kind of people. So when I'm hosting the Today's Woman show, I always say you are today's woman. That means everybody watching is today's woman. The today's woman is not only the person that I'm speaking to. My guest is not the only today's woman. Each one of us is today's woman because we are alive today. So as today's woman, what impact are you leaving? That's the question.
I love that. This is so powerful. And so many people are jumping on. Audrey, my sister from Virginia, and that's another Ghanaian sister. It's so good to have you. Yay. We have Trent in the house, Michael Zor, Miss Anang, Jenny Gyojimar, Kista Kit. It's good to have you. Baisila, it's good to have you. Jenny Sujay, it's good to have you. Poppy Moore, the one stay Neo Mo Shumber. Okay, so if I didn't get it right, forgive me. Aqua 2019. It's good to have you. So much, guys, for joining us over and over again, even when we got disconnected. But we're really breaking down the concept of personal brand. And I want people to throw away and dump that mindset that is just for a certain kind of people. Because a lot of us, because of lack of knowing, lack of awareness, makes us to stay away from what should be. And we fail to build the brand called you. You are the brand. I always say, listen, you know, let me give you an example. In Nigeria, we have plantain chips, and we have the one that's in the pack. So the plantain crisps in the packet, and in Ghana we have the kelewele, right? They're both the same sauce, but what makes the difference? The one in the pack has been branded and nicely done. Probably to have kelewele, you want to have to visit someone or go to a restaurant, and so your brand is so important. You cannot put it behind you anymore. So Renee, I want to let you go, but just one more question that I think affects our clients. Is personal brand as a member of the social media, for example. A lot of people are disconnected from their brands. Now, listen, I don't want you telling me that you are an entrepreneur. Show up as one, okay? What are you doing on social media? If you tell me you're a professional and I come on your page and you're lying nude on the beach, honey, there is no way. I'm not gonna pay for your services. I know where to find that. So you cannot say that you're a coach and what is happening on your page is different. So I'm going to step away and allow the expert to speak about that. So personal brand on social media. Why is this so important? And what have you noticed? And Renee, you know, comment about it because you are an authority in this field. Over to you, Renee.
Well, you are in the US now, and abroad, the US, the UK, you know, all over. A lot of people are losing their jobs, and some of them don't know, but it's because HR actually goes through their social media. And sometimes they call you and then just give you a reason, but you probably would, I mean, the people losing their jobs is because HR decides that such a person cannot represent us. and that's what it is as well. When you're working for somebody, you are representing them. You're representing their company. When you're working for me, you're representing me when I'm not there. So when I send my PA somewhere, it's like me being there. I should have trained her to the point that she can actually go and represent me and represent my brand, Renee Q. That's who my PA goes to step in. Now, social media is so very important, and I can't say it enough. Now, if you are, an entrepreneur or you're a corporate person and you have a business account, then I would just advise you to have 2 accounts, okay? So you should have your business account and you should have your personal account. Your personal account should be a private account. That with a private account, you choose who can follow you or who can, see your pictures and all of that. Why do I say this? So if it's a business account, like you're saying, I should come on your page and I should be seeing it and I should be wanting to buy your stuff because of what the pictures that I'm seeing. I'm like, wow, and it's wowing me. Now, when I come to your page, what do I see? Like you're saying, if you're selling, let's say you're selling food, okay? So every time you cook something and then you plate it lovely, whatever, you put it there, then you put the recipes, and that's what I see. So I always come to your page for maybe recipes. I come for inspiration. I come for ideas and all that. So I'm just going 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, everything. Next thing, I'm just seeing, like you said, maybe you just lying nude on the beach saying, oh, what a lovely sunny day. What has that got to do with your business? What has that got to do with it? I mean, some people are, social media at this point is so powerful, but let's use it well. That's why I say, I have one of my hashtags, every time I post something, I say positive social media. So I also say that social media as well, following somebody is not a covenant you've made with the person. So after you're following somebody for a while, if you feel like you're just getting some negative vibes or you're not getting what you thought you'd get from, please quickly go and unfollow. Sometimes you need to audit the people around you, because the people around you and the people you follow and the things that you see and the things that you read, all then suddenly, it all forms your mind. It all forms your idea. It all forms your thoughts, the things that you think about. So if you're not I think that you should only follow strong people. Now, I'm saying this because, okay, let me give this example. So I remember a while ago, I was following this lady who does the most beautiful weddings. My goodness. If you see the pictures and everything, I could just sometimes on a weekend go on her page for like 10 minutes. And as I'm going on, I'm thinking, will my husband propose again? If my husband proposes again, I definitely will let her. Now I think at a certain point in her life, she probably went through a bad relationship or something. Now, this lady who posts the most beautiful pictures of weddings, I-dos, kisses, the veils being thrown off and everything, suddenly she's putting flyers saying men are dogs. Who needs a man in your life anyway? What do you need a husband for? Now, obviously, you can tell how some people are feeling by their posts. So when somebody is feeling depressed and all of that, you can tell by their posts. And that's why you have to be very, very professional. So whether or not I'm in the mood, if I wake up today, so if I woke up this morning and I didn't feel like coming on social media, I didn't feel like combing my hair, I have to be professional. You know me as a personal branding coach. That's what you know me as. When I come on here, I'm coming to push you, I'm coming to ginger you, I'm coming to Q-merge you, and so you're following me for that. So I cannot come on here and they just come on and say, Louisa, today I'm not in the mood for this kind of thing. So let them just think, no, you have to be professional. Like she said, people have to come on your page, and without even them reading your profile, your bio, or you saying anything from your post, they should ask, is she a doctor? Is she a nutritionist? Is she an image consultant? Is she a coach? Is she a teacher? Is she from the kinds of things that they are reading? So it's really important that please try to separate, especially when it's too private, then try and separate your business account from your private account. And if you do have a private account, then only invite in there people that you trust, are your very close friends, who won't also then take it out. People that you trust, that when you're going to whatever you're going to and you're posting it in there, they will understand and they can call you and say, Louisa, Renee, I know you're feeling this way, but look, calm down. You posted all these things and I know it's because of so and so, but calm down. And she can probably cry on your shoulder. She needs that. And then she'll get over it and then come back on her profile, her company, her business profile, and go on with the weddings and everything. So it's really important because your social media as well represents you. There was one time I went to this event. It was a gospel worship concert, and it was so amazing. And this lady came on and she was worshiping, and her voice. And I was like, where and who is she? And how come I have never heard? I mean, she came on and took the mic, and I had goosebumps. So you know how it is as well with social media now. Even in church, you be on social media, you be on Instagram and all of that. So me watching her and all that, I quickly took the flyer to see who it was. And I quickly went on social media. So I'll follow her, because to me, I didn't want to lose her. Now that I'd found somebody like that, I felt like, let me go and find out who she is, and let me follow her now, so that I can follow her and get all this. Because with me, worship songs especially really uplift my spirit, and it helps me in prayer. So I really love people. I love worship leaders, powerful worship leaders. And I follow them because sometimes it just works right spiritually. You're just in that sort of mood. You go on their page, they lift up a song, and it just, sort of just uplifts your spirit. So I went on there. Oh my goodness, can you hear me? It says paused.
I can hear you, but Instagram is a little messy. Instagram,
Instagram, don't do this to us.
Yes, it's the Civilized presence. I think that the network on Instagram, it's coming on. Yes, but I couldn't hear you on Instagram anymore. Can you hear us
on Instagram? It says it's pause due to poor connection.
So you have to come back in. And guys, if you're just joining us for the first time, it's the Civilized presence.
So sorry.
We're here every Mondays and Fridays at 8:30 Eastern time. And the conversation today really is talking about personal branding, how your self-esteem and confidence can affect your personal brand. I'm so excited and honored that you made out time to be here. There's so many people coming in from different parts of the world. We're here every Mondays and Fridays. So if you've never been on any of my sessions before, please try to have a date with me. We party here every Mondays and Fridays. Just come in with your drink, okay? Because I might not be able to share it with you. Renee, can you come back in the video on Instagram, or it's giving you trouble from there? But
I'm just coming back in now.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to have Renee back in. We've been having such an amazing conversation. Now, if you're not currently following my page, just to get all the notifications, please do so. Follow us on Facebook, So Unique Experts. Follow me on Instagram, So Unique Experts, and turn on your notification, because I'm always coming up on. And Renee had talked about book study. We're starting up a book study. So many people have been asking me about the book study, because I have a book study that I do. And usually it's a lunch hour sessions for like some 15 minutes, very short and sweet. This time around, it's going to be on one of my books that I love very much, which is The Civilized Leader. So be part of what we're doing, okay? And that's why you have to turn on your notifications. And I would be so happy to have you in all of our sessions. And thank you so much, Fit Evolution. Thank you. Now, you gave me a compliment. Thank you so much. I'm going to blush, but the problem is that I have brown skin. So if I begin to blush now, I probably was going to turn purple or black. So I'm not like some of my clients who would turn red, but thank you so much. It looks like it's not connecting, but guys, I don't know why we're not able to get Renee back on. We're struggling with that. And people are still waiting on. Renee, are you having trouble joining with Instagram?
It seems like there are 2 people on already.
On Instagram? So
I can't come on as well.
No. If you can just come into my video, go to where
I did the same thing I did before.
Okay. Guys, I really have to apologize to my Instagram family. I really have to apologize, but we're right here on Facebook. It's still live, and we are about to get it to the end of the session. And of course, Renee has been able to break things down. Personal brand, why this is so important. She shared with us tips on how you can build your confidence and self-esteem. If you never had confidence before, please go back on this video and watch it. Invite your friends and family to watch it too. And there's so many tips that you can begin with, okay? And another thing that I want to say is, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are a professional, whatever that you are, it doesn't matter. You are an important VIP. You need to build a brand called you. It's so important. You cannot run away from that. You have a brand. You are the brand. So whether you take control of changing the narrative and the story of your brand or not, people have an impression and perception of who you are. So you want to change that. Like Renee has taught us, and she said, when you leave the room, what do people say about you? When you're working with people, what do your clients say? Do they have something good to say about you, or they think you're not that great? So you can change it. You have the power to change that. And so many people are jumping on again. It's good to have you. Acid Dispatch, it's good to have you. So guys, please come on to Facebook, because I'm not able. Acid Dispatch is trying to come on. I would love to. Is that you coming on again, Renee? Somebody's trying to come
So
on.
it's logging in.
Okay, that's not coming on. Ace Dispatch, I would love to bring you on, but I don't know what you're gonna bring to the table. So thank you so much for asking to come on, but we cannot do that at this point. But thank you for your requests. Okay. So guys, personal brand has got to do with your appearance, your behavior, and the way that you communicate. It's not just about how you look, it's the way that you behave, and that's where civility comes in. Etiquette and civility and manners. Do you have good manners? If you don't, that's okay. Come on, every Mondays and Fridays, and you're going to learn some tips with me. Do you know how to communicate? And that's what Renee was talking about. How do you talk to people? Are you like the woman in Makola? And I mean, whoever knows this woman, just give her some hearts for me. She's amazing. I love when people love their work and they stand for for their truth. They take on everything within them to give you the greatest customer experience. Some people are just so rude. This morning I got somebody in the elevator wouldn't even say hello. I mean, in North America, people don't say hello, but I want to believe that my African people are not like that. Somebody wouldn't say hello, but I had to say hello like 50 times, but they wouldn't. And I said, have a wonderful day. Sometimes you meet people who are like that. They're in different stage of their lives. Don't get mad at them. You keep doing what you do. And of course, we're going to have to bring back Renee again to our session when she has a minute, because let me tell you, this lady is loaded. I don't know how many of you have met her personally, but she is loaded. She's doing so much work. There's so much she's going to teach people here. So Renee, I'm just going to go over to you. Instagram is not connecting, just to finish up for Facebook so that we can cut off the video.
Oh, Instagram is being naughty.
Yes. So we'll just, I'm so sorry, Instagram. Yes.
Yeah.
So if you just finish up, Renee, with what you were discussing, and we'll be able to cut this off.
Okay, so I'm trying to just log on here again, but if not, so we'll just continue. Where did I get to so that I don't start all the way from the beginning?
Absolutely. So it had to do with how do you show up on your social media, and you talked about how social media is the real world. So you
social
cannot
media really now. Yes. Yeah. So we have to be very, very mindful. We need to be very mindful now of how we show up on social media. I was talking about the lady, the worship leader that I saw, that I met, and I was so impressed. So I went on her page because I saw her name on the flyer. So this is a worship leader she's an ambassador for who? For Christ, right? Because she's standing there worshiping God. And then I went on her page and then just went, a few posts down, and this is her wearing something so nude, showing half of her body, doing some kind of twerky kind of dance and all of that. So for a minute, I'm like, are you kidding me? Is it the same person? So that is really important. We need to be mindful of our posts. When you're posting something, you need to ask yourself, does this represent what I stand for? Because your personal brand also has a lot to do with your values and what you stand for. People should know that when it comes to Renee, she won't take this. When it comes to Louisa, you can't take this to Louisa. And that's part of her brand. People know what she stands for. So I was quite disappointed that, seeing such a person and then going on her page, I saw all of that. So we have to be very mindful of how we use social media. And we have to be also mindful of who we follow on social media, so we are not wrongly influenced. Because some people who are not strong enough to take what they want to take from will just be influenced wrongly by what they see. And then they start panicking, and then they start thinking, oh, I also have to be wearing this. I also have to be posting this. Even sometimes the language that is used on social media, you find very, very, obscene and profane language being used in captions on social media. And so many people have accounts now, even children, even parents are opening accounts for their children. So their children probably have access to all of this and they probably will see it. So we need to be mindful of what we, put to our names, because again, your name is representing you and you are your brand. So we need to be very mindful of how we use social media. Social media can be used positively in such a great way. And so just be mindful of that and be mindful of the kind of posts that you post that is public, that is showing to everybody else.
Thank you so much, Renee. And I just want to add that social media is the new billboard. So I always tell people that if you're ready to put the information on the billboard, put it on social media because someone can find it. Even when you think that your account is private, Facebook has got access to that information. Instagram has got access to that information. And so many years down the line, the information is going to show up and you're going to be so embarrassed. So make sure that whatever that you put online, it's something that you're proud of. It's something that you're ready to show up to everyone. So Instagram, I'm so sorry that we have to cut you off and this is not happening. I'm so sorry. I love you guys. And Facebook, thank you so much. Renee, I want to say thank you. Thank you.
Thank
And
you
thank
for
you
having
again.
me. Thank you to
Really
you.
for all that you've shared. You are amazing. You are, you are just the greatest brand strategist that people should learn from because you know the subject matter. You were able to break it down for everyone to understand. It doesn't matter if you're in the marketplace, it doesn't matter where you find yourself. You were able to share great nuggets for everyone to learn. So if you're just joining us, please go back to this video. You're going to have access to this video. I'm going to download it and make sure that I have it on YouTube later on today and also on Instagram TV because but guys, thank you so much. And we will be back here again on Friday, same time, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. I'm looking forward to that. But during the day, I'm going to give you the right time to make an announcement for when we're getting started with the book study. So if you haven't bought my book yet, please go on Amazon and just type in my name. It's Louisa Akaiso. And please try to grab a copy. And we have Ambassador Juma. It's good to have you here from Kenya. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you for making out time. So go and get a copy. You can get one on Kindle. You can get a hard copy. But I want you to have the book when we begin the study. And Audrey, it was so good to have you. Thank you so much. So Renee, everyone enjoyed working with you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It's so much great comments and likes and love. And we look forward to having you again. So guys,
Sure. We'll put it together. All the best.
Thank you guys. And bye for now.
Bye. Thank you. Stay blessed. Thank you so much.